Hello and good evening. Wan Hao. This is Mark Alvee. I'm going to be your host for today. And again, good evening to all the viewers from here and around the world. Are you guys excited to see the aspiring contestants for tonight's event? I'm really excited as well. Now, before we begin, though, I do want to uh, acknowledge some of the people or respective people who are behind this prestigious event. So we have Mr. Wilson Agbayani and Alexis Go from Mr. and Miss Chinatown Foundation. They're the president. We also would like to extend our gratitude to Miss Lorraine Tan and Alvin Tan. They're the president for the Chinoy TV, or otherwise known as Phil Chai Media Productions. And last but not the least, we also like to extend our gratitude to Mr. Miko Araneta. Miko Araneta is the pageant director of Mr. and Miss Chinatown Philippines 2020. All right. And also, uh, same as with other pageants, we also have this theme, or it's what we call RISE, which is rebuild, inspire, strengthen, and empower. Definitely, this pageant is not just for a show, but at the same time, it has its strong mission. The mission to empower the modern Chinese young men and women in their roles as productive agents of social change and exemplary models of Chinese values and culture in the modern age. So without further ado, I would like to introduce now our contestants. Let's start with Mr. Beef Ko.
Hi guys, how are you? My name is Beef. I'm 25. I'm 25 years old, turning 26 this year. I'm from De La Salle University, and currently I am candidate number 3 from Mr. and Miss Chinatown. So, how are you guys doing? Good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Ko, and advance happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right, now let's go to Miss Kat Ibasco.
大家好，我是吴豪，选手周洋，今年21岁。我现在波士顿市，因为我是波士顿大学的一名学生。Hi everyone, I'm Kat Ibasco. I'm your candidate number 5. I am 21 years old and I am currently a student at Boston University, where I'm also currently residing right now.
Thank you, Miss Ibasco. Next, we have Mr. Georwin Nang.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Georwin. 我叫黄俊仁. I'm currently 22 years old. I'm currently situated in Melbourne. I graduated in Melbourne, Monash University here in Melbourne.
Thank you, Georwin. Next, we have Miss Alexis Enriquez.
晚上好，我是我今年20岁，我住在 Mandaluyong City，我读在 UP Diliman. So hi, my name is Alexi Enriquez. I am 20 years old. I live in Mandaluyong City and I am studying in UP Diliman. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Enriquez. Next, we have Mr. Don Tang.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Don Tang. I'm 29 years old. I'm candidate number 9, and I am from the center of the metro, San Juan.
Thank you, Mr. Tang. Last but not the least, we have Miss Annie Yuson.
嗨，大家晚上好，我是陈玉妮，今年23岁。Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Annie. I'm 23 years old. I graduated Bachelor of Science major in Architecture in St. Louis University, and I am currently residing in Quezon City.
Thank you, Miss Yuson. All right, there we have it. We have all the beautiful and handsome contestants for Mr. and Miss Chinatown. This already the third batch that we have, I believe. So again, welcome. Now, I'm just curious. I want to ask you guys, how were you guys during the pandemic? We're all definitely shocked, and a lot of people met some challenges. This is definitely surprising. I was wondering what happened or what you guys have been doing during those times. Let's start with Mr. Beefco.
Well, glad you asked because oh,
Mm,
a lot of things that's been going on, especially during the pandemic, is that a lot of difficulties, especially with work. I'm pretty sure a lot of people faced a little bit of difficulty with work because you get furloughed or you get fired from your job. Like everyone, pretty much, I had to find a way how to move on from those kind of difficulties, and the best way for me was I had to do workouts. I mean, like as an athlete with races canceled, with the year coming like to a near end. I mean, like there's nothing that we can do this year as an athlete. The best thing we can do right now is to build, regrow, and rise up again. And hopefully, next year we can do better.
yes. Thank you so much for sharing, Mr. Call. All right. Now, next we have is Miss Kat Ibasco. How are you
Hi.
during the pandemic? Yes, hi.
Well, the pandemic has been really difficult, not just for me, but for my entire industry that I'm trying to graduate a major from. A lot of people face unemployment, and of course, the live entertainment industry is at a downfall. And I don't know. I don't even know if there's going to be an industry for me to graduate into in a year. But I took this time to really try to focus my creative energies into what I want to create and what kind of artist I want to become. And I also wanted to become a more productive member of the creative community. And so I started my own small business. And that's also why I joined Mr. Miss Chinatown, because I want to spread awareness on the importance of the arts and community empowerment through the creative industries.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Ibasco. Awesome. Now let's go to Mr. Jerwin Nang.
Hi everyone. I think during this time, definitely everyone's been experiencing a very tough time. Especially, I think especially everyone that's working, transitioning to work from home isn't as easy because you're not having that same contact with your colleagues and everything. But so I think being able to adapt with the technology, and also being able to find different ways to reach out to your colleagues and kind of checking in on them and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of a good way to reconnect with other people during this time.
Thank you, Jerwin.
Thank you, Georwin.
Okay, next we have is Miss
Okay,
Alexi
next we have is
Enriquez.
Miss Alexi.
So I've been pretty occupied with online classes. Like I just finished an exam a while ago. But apart from that, I've been actually just getting to learn more about myself, like through a lot of reflection, since you kind of have to stay at home, right? So it makes you really think a lot and spend time with your family, and you get a better perspective on um, not only the current situation but also next time. So yeah, a lot of reflection and learning even inside the house.
Thank you, Miss Enriquez. Yeah, that's the same that goes for me. I had a lot of reflections during this pandemic. Was very busy, but this gave me enough time, to think about a lot of things. All right, so let's go to Mr. Don Tang.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, I feel that difficult is an understatement, and I think that applies to most, if not all of us. But that pretty much captures how it's been as far as the pandemic is concerned. For me personally, I've just been trying to focus on myself. That's all I can do at this point. My brother and I, we started a small business, so our focus is on that. I've also been trying to get into a new job because what with economic and political factors, I unfortunately had to be let go from the previous one. But life goes on, and here I am, just grinding it out.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Tang. Last but not the least, we have Miss Annie Yuson.
So I can say that I'm kinda have adjusted now to the new normal because it's already been 7 months. So honestly, currently I'm really enjoying the journey to Mr. and Miss Chinatown. But the first few months of the pandemic, it has been really challenging for me, and not just for me, but to everyone. But right now, I just see the goodness in everything and keep moving forward. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So I'm glad that everyone was doing pretty much okay. Now, I also want to ask, like, after, like, once everything's back to normal, what is the first thing that you think you're gonna do? I actually like to personally go to some beaches. Have a vacation. I really miss that now. But I was wondering, how about you guys? What is the first thing that you want to do once everything's back to normal? Let's start again with Mr. Beefco.
Well, actually, if I was gonna, after this pandemic, straight out of my mind, I'm gonna go to the mountains. Actually, why the mountains? And you probably ask where or which
Yeah.
mountain? I'd like to go to Capistarlac, mountains of Capistarlac. We
Mm.
used to have an NGO that we spent time there to provide sustainable projects for ITIS in the mountains of Capistarlac. So uh, to be honest, in those mountains, you feel disconnected from all the social media, all of those toxic po- toxic toxic topics here that happen.
Uh,
So yeah, the mountains is a way for me to let loose and just relax.
all right. Yeah. Nice choice. Out of town. Thank you, Mr. Call. Now we do have Miss Kat Ibasco.
Uh, the first thing I would do is just text all my friends and ask them if they would want to come with me to go have dinner and then go see theater because that's something that I really value. I really value spending, getting to spend time with these people. And I haven't eaten out in so long and I really, really miss that. And of course, I have to go see theater. It's what my life is about. It's what I enjoy and it's my passion. And I think that it's something to look forward to after all of this.
That's nice to hear, Miss Ibasco. I really miss my friends as well. There are a lot of them that I haven't seen in ages now, and I'm very excited that we get together once all of this is over. Okay, now let's go to Mr. Jerwin Nang.
I think maybe the first thing I'll do is maybe fly back to the Philippines because I think because I usually go home every year during Christmas to visit my family because I don't live with them. I think during this time, I think most people have been spending time with their families more, and that's a bit different for me. So I've been away from my family. So yeah, I've been really missing them so much. So maybe that's the first thing I'm gonna do when lockdown's over.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerwin.
Thank you, Georwin.
All right, now we have Miss Alexi Enriquez.
So the first thing I do is I make plans with all my friends who I haven't been able to see this pandemic. I probably won't be able, like my parents will probably not see me in the house for a long time. Like I just go home to sleep because I'd be like catching up with all my friends. Then we'd be doing the stuff we like doing, like watching movies and us or exercising, going to those exercise classes. We find those really enjoyable. Then watching movies also, yeah.
Thank you. I also love watching movies. There has been a lot of movies that I missed because during the time before pre-pandemic, I was so busy I don't have much time. But now I get to watch almost everything. So now let's go to Mr. Don Tang.
Yeah, you know what, Mark? Here's the thing. If you had asked me this question months
Hmm.
ago, Straight up, my answer would be to get a haircut because guys don't ever take haircuts for granted. I used to look like a dirty mop several months ago,
Really?
so I would say a haircut. But now, yeah, but now that I got my haircut, I look a lot fresher now. I think. I would say traveling with my family and my friends, just because the memories that I make with them wherever we go, I can never put a price to that, and it stays with me forever.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Mr. Tang. I also don't want to have very long hair. I feel uncomfortable. All right. Now, last but not the least, Miss Annie Huzon.
So for me, the first thing that I would love to do is to visit my ama in China because that has been the plan before the pandemic. But since the pandemic happened, so it just makes us miss her even more. So I think that is the first thing that I would do if the pandemic ends. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you. Yes, family is definitely everything. Thank you so much for sharing, Miss Huzon. Now, I'm curious about the realizations. I think one of you already mentioned that you guys have, or some of you have reflections already. So I want to ask, what has been your realization during this pandemic crisis? So let's start with Annie Yuzon again.
So since it has been 7 months, I've realized a lot during the lockdown. But I think that the most relevant realization that I would love to share is that I realized that I am super blessed and lucky because, you know, despite the pandemic, that I, 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 I always see the goodness in everything because I was, given I was given the opportunity to do the things that I still love to do that it's really something that I appreciate a lot because before I don't tend to appreciate little stuff, but since the pandemic happened, it makes me realize that I have to be grateful in everything and see the goodness in everything and everyone around me. So that's the realization that I have during the pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Miss Yuzon. Yeah, there has been a lot of things that we might have taken for granted, but because of this pandemic, we tend to realize about other things that matter. Now, let's go and hear from Mr. Don Tang.
Yeah, you know what? For me, I don't know about you guys, but I realized our Wi-Fi isn't that fast. That's what I realized months staying at home with my entire family. But with that said, I've also realized that tomorrow is never a guarantee. So you should never ever take anything for granted. Tell people that you love them, spend as much time as you can with them, and do what you want. Follow your heart. Because again, if tomorrow ends, who knows? At least you lived authentically and you won't have any regrets.
Correct. Yes, no regrets. Thank you for sharing, Mr. Tang. Now let's go to Miss Alexi.
Oh, okay. So, on the top of my mind, the first realization I got was what I want to do after I graduate. So, before I wanted to just work in the family business, but reflecting on it and getting some insights on my friends, like they were able to convince me the benefits of trying to look for a job by myself, which is what I will do now. Like now that I really set on it, like it's not just an in the moment thing. Like I'm really gonna go out there once I
Go out
graduate.
there once I
And another
and
realization is what I got, like how the feeling of how loved I am, like especially during this pageant, like I've been getting so much support, and even from the friends that I have drifted from, it's like they're always just willing to help me, and even in their small little ways, like just sharing or asking how I am. It really makes me feel really loved, and I realize that there's all your friends. They're really gonna help you through difficult times, and that um, they they're just lifelines that you should hold on to and cherish.
Thank you. That's very nice, Miss Enriquez. Now let's go to Mr. Jerwin Nang.
I think definitely during this time, there's a lot of realizations we had. I just actually had one just today. I think it's more about following your dreams because I think during this time, what I try to do is try to max myself out. I try to do different kinds of stuff. So I have a job. I've been studying, running my own business. I think all these things kind of burn you out at one point, and I think it's really important to follow what you love because you won't feel tired when you do that. So I think that's one thing I realized during this time.
Nice, nice. Thank you
Nice,
so much,
nice. Thank you so much,
Mr. Nang.
Mr. Nang.
Okay, so let's go in here from Miss Kat Ibasco.
As I mentioned earlier, I use this time to reflect and recenter my creative energies and understand what kind of artist I want to be after I graduate and during my studies right now. And I realized that as a Chinoy theater maker, I think that it's my responsibility to make sure that people know that we exist and that our voices have to be heard and represented in society. I think that as a member of both the Chinoy and the theater community, I need to work towards um, pushing Asian aesthetics, especially in American theater, beyond the stereotypical American Orientalist markers, and and show the world the creativity, the resourcefulness, passion, and pride we possess as young Chinoys, and carry that into the stories that we need to tell and share with the world.
Beautiful. Thank you, Miss Ibasco. Last but not the least, Mr. Beefco.
I think my biggest realization is actually that we all have a choice. I mean, during this pandemic, actually, when the pandemic started, everyone started to slow down, everyone started to stop. But it's our choice if you want to let down, I mean, if we want to stay down, or do we want to move on and try to do something about it? And I think I believe like most of us, we try to do something about it. Like for those of my other friends or people who've decided to start their small online businesses, I mean, like try to earn some in the side, or like for those who want to start fitness communities, just so that we get rid of the negativity in our body and just to keep our mindset forward. So yeah, I think I realized that we always have a choice to do something. It's just up to us if we want to take it or if we want to stay in the couch and not do
Thank
anything.
you, Mr. Ko. Yeah, like you, I'm also into doing workouts. So it's one of my hobbies, my pastime, and it's also a good thing to, you know, for your health. It's a good way to maintain a good health. All right, with
Definitely.
that, yes, thank you, Mr. Ko. So with that being said, well, basically, since we are joining this pageant, definitely we have advocacies with us. We definitely bring with us some advocacy when we join particular pageants. So I'm very curious now. What do you think is your advocacy? You know that would relate or speak to our theme, which is rise. Does anyone want to start, or I'll pick someone? Let's start with Alexi.
Okay.
What do you think is
I'm
your
not this
advocacy?
my so
Mhm.
my personal advocacy ever since before was always quality education. I think it's very timely even during this pandemic, because a lot of people who are not a lot of people aren't given the same learning opportunities in school, as there are a lot of people who don't have access to stable internet connection, especially at my school. So I really advocate being able to cater to those who are having who aren't not only those who have unstable internet, but also those who are not mentally prepared, especially during this pandemic. There are a lot of emotional stress, and not everyone has the same opportunity to learn. Since it's really scary knowing that there is this like disease going around, and that like your life can be in danger, and you're just at home, and there's a lot of stress that comes with that. So I believe that people should really look into ways on how to make it better for them.
Thank you. All right. So random order. Let's go to Jerwin.
Yeah, I think during this time, I think everyone's approach is really good. But for me personally, I think because myself, I'm a business
I couldn't hear Jerwin well.
and
Jerwin?
I think I realized during this time, is they're all trying their best to survive during this time.
Here, Georwin.
Oh, sorry. Um,
Okay. Thank you. Hold on.
is this okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
better
I think
because
it's better
earlier
because earlier
it's freezing.
it's
I couldn't
freezing.
hear you
I couldn't
well,
hear you
and you
well,
deserve the
and you deserve
opportunity
the
to be heard.
opportunity to be heard.
So,
Okay,
is
yeah,
it
sorry.
okay?
So,
Can
is
you
it okay?
repeat
Can you
that one more
repeat
time?
that one more time?
Yeah, okay. I think yeah. So I think my advocacy during this time is to be able to support small businesses, because me myself, I'm a business owner, and I think during this time, all the Filipinos out there, they're trying their best to survive during this time. And actually, I think everyone's experiencing financial difficulties. So being able to support local and you know maybe from your nearby vendor, or like your could be from your friends as well. So being able to support everyone during this time is my current advocacy.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much
Thank
for
you so much
sharing
for
that.
sharing that.
Okay.
Okay,
Now let's hear
now let's
from
hear
Annie
from
Yuson.
Annie.
Okay, ever since when I was a kid, I've been really attached to education, just like Alexi. And yeah, ever since I joined the pageant, I've been advocating on education already, even up until now. So I think that it's very timely because Mr. and Miss Chinatown has this rise movement, and I've been thinking to have a campaign on so that I can bridge the gap between the new learning system that we have right now, which is the e-learning or the online class that we have, and also to those who children who are not given the opportunity to have or to continue their education. So I think that by providing them gadgets will help them to give them hope to continue their education, and yeah, I think that it could change their life. So yeah, I'm an advocate of education. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. That's the backbone or the building blocks for everyone is education. And
Yeah.
it's nice to hear that yeah, that we have this reason for joining the pageant is one is to promote, education, especially online. Thank you, Mrs. Son.
Thank you.
Now let's. You're welcome. Now let's go to uh, Don. Have I called you already?
No, you have not, Mark. And with that said, I feel very, very strongly about mental health. And I know a lot of people say that, but I've never meant it more than I do now. If only for the fact that I feel that in life, one of the most difficult things a person can face are challenges that they have to go through in private and challenges that they have to go through alone, especially if they're challenges that go in and around their mind day in and day out, because no one can really help them but themselves, so to speak. So I feel that if we are always kind and respectful towards anyone we meet, that helps a big deal because we never know what anyone's going through. Now more than ever, because of the pandemic, people may have experienced deaths or losses of jobs, and it's really not easy. So if we are kind and if we are just always respectful toward other people, I feel that that will help. That will help. It's not just listening. It's not just being present. It's just being a decent, respectful individual. I think that we should never ever underestimate that. So mental health is very important to me.
Thank you. All right. Yes, thank you so much for sharing, Mr. Tang. It's definitely one of the, I think, one of the most ignored topics. So it's a good thing that we're bringing this to people's attention. So let's go to Miss Cat.
Mark, did you know that I have such a
Yeah.
passion for the arts? Shocker, right? That's basically all I've been talking about this entire night. But growing up Chinese Filipino, there's always been this stigma around taking up the arts or the creative industries as a profession. I guess the thought around it is that these fields don't really lend itself to society much or aren't stable enough or just don't contribute. Like people may ask, why should we focus on the arts during the pandemic? But I know from my personal experience how the arts can contribute to one's personal enrichment and the power it has to bring about change to the world. How the arts historically have contributed to shaping culture, economics, and politics, even. How it promotes passion and collaboration and emotional intelligence, which I think is just really important for our generation right now. And that the arts are important for social development and community empowerment. And I think, especially during a time like this, we need a little bit of that creativity, compassion, and beauty in our lives to help ourselves rebuild, inspire, strengthen, and empower our community. Let's just share our stories.
I love that. Thank you, Miss Cat. Yeah, let's. It's good that I think this what you said about arts is a great thing because definitely it boosts the morale or
Mhm.
it brings color to our lifeless life right now. I would
Yeah,
say, so that's a good point. Thank you
yeah,
for sharing.
and it helps individuals understand their own selves as well and develop a means to cope with what's happening in their lives. So it lends itself to both education and mental health and all these great things our other candidates are advocating for.
Yeah, I think aside from mental health, arts is also being neglected. But little do we know, sometimes music already boosts us for our everyday lives, makes us happy. We just sometimes ignore it. So
Definitely.
thank you. All right, so I guess Beef, you already know that you're the next one.
I'm last on the list. Okay, all right. So, well, as you know already, you can say that I have a fitness, more of like a fitness advocacy. So, I'm more of, I'd like to have a platform on fitness and health and wellness rather. So, uh, most of the time, I mean, people say like, "Ooh," because I mean, I'm an athlete, and people say like, "Oh, you do these stuff because you're already doing this since before. You're good at it." But to be honest, I haven't been doing this for a long time. I started from nothing, and that's because uh, the way that you progress, especially with health and wellness, it's still different than how you make it up to yourself. So, example, especially during this pandemic, I've improved a lot further um, because of the because of the initiative to develop myself as it using fitness as a distraction rather than just staying with the negative side of what's happening around. So I believe, especially with the pandemic going on, we can't just ignore the fact that we have to take care of our mental health as well as our wellness, our health, our body rather. So yeah.
Our health. All right, awesome. So moving on to the next part, guys. This time we're gonna flash the questions on the screen, so you can have a guide. You can think more about it. Let's just wait a bit. On. You guys ready?
Definitely.
Okay, so awesome. Thank you. So there we go. What do you like most about yourself? So, since I believe Mr. Call, you're ready. So let's start with you.
I
What do
feel
you
like
like most about yourself? Uh-huh.
the thing I like most about myself is that I can adapt to anything. Like I'd say that was my trait since before. Like I can adapt to anything. Because to be honest, like I said, I started from nothing as an athlete because I was a video gamer. I was an addict in video gaming. Like trust me, I wasn't the kid that you would think that is in front of you right now. I had social insecurities. Like I wouldn't talk to you. But as time goes by, as as we evolve, like we get to adapt ourselves to the situation. We get to mature, and I think that's what I like about most of myself. Because without it, I wouldn't be the man that you're talking to right now.
All right, thank you. We do have a lot of in common, Mr. Call. Aside from doing workouts, I also like playing video games. So online games or console like PlayStation 4, and I'm excited with the PlayStation 5. Then mobile games, yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Now let's go to Miss Cat.
It's hard to think of just one thing that I like most about myself, but I'll give you two things. I really love that I am both open minded and extremely, extremely outspoken. And I think those two things go hand in hand because I can both listen and understand other people's opinions even if I don't agree with them and still be able to communicate with them. But I'm also not afraid to use my voice to spread awareness and to communicate and express my own opinion. And I think that's something that's important, especially with our movement this year in this pageant.
Thank you, Miss Cat. I can really see that you already embraced yourself. Awesome. Now let's go to Alexi.
Okay, so one thing I really like about myself is that I like being challenged. Um, I like learning, and I kind of like being in like giving having a lot of constructive criticism. Like I really handle insults well. Actually use it as a means to improve myself, and I really really think that um it that's what makes me that's what made me who I am today, and it made me strong, and it made me want to keep on improving on myself and progress as time goes by.
Beautiful. Thank you, Alexi. Okay, so next we have. Let's go to Geo.
I think what like most about myself is I'm compassionate. Yeah, I think during this time, everyone needs someone to be there for them. I think I'm the kind of person who like, oh, if your car tire gets flat 12 midnight, just give me a call. I'll come over and help you out. So I'm that kind of person. I think yeah, and then I think that's what I like about myself, and I think that's what my friends like about me as well. I think during this time, you need to be there for someone, and yeah, I think hopefully I think everyone could be in some part of their life could be compassionate as well. So I think yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have a friend like
Yeah,
that. Someone you can always
I
count
would
on.
love to have a friend like that.
Thank
Someone
you.
you
So
can
I'll
always
count on
count
you,
on.
okay? So now we have Miss Annie.
Okay, what I like most about myself is that I think I have the characteristic of empathy because I always like to put myself in the shoe of other people. I love to help people, not just by giving them food or gift or anything, but by simply just listening and talking to them, it will, I think, that helps them a lot. And by seeing the faces, by seeing the smiles on their faces is caused by your little actions, and that is something that will make my heart full. And yeah, that's one thing that I love most about myself. Thank you.
That's a lovely answer. Thank you, Miss Yuson. So let's go to Dawn. Uh, Dawn time.
Yeah. So if I say so myself, I think one thing I like about me is that I think I'm a good listener, and that's just the kind of friend that I am. It brings me back to what I said earlier about mental health and just being kind to everyone you come across. To me, again, just coming to the aid of people with an open mind and an open heart, I think that there's so much to be said about that. Sometimes when you have nothing to say, just being physically present makes a world of difference. And if you can't be one or the other, I also find that sometimes just letting people be for a while, just leaving them alone and just leaving everything to respect, it changes the world, to be honest. And that's something that I really like about myself.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you, Mr. Tang. All of your answers are great. I can say that you guys are already winners at your own right. Now, let's go to our next question. We're going to flash it again on the screen. You guys can see. What do you think is the biggest problem facing young people today? All right, so let's go and start with Annie.
I think that the biggest problem that the youth faces today is actually the addiction to social media, which leads to mental health problems. Because during the time of pandemic, we cannot avoid social media because it's the number one tool. So I myself am a victim of this. Like, I have this SDD, or the screen dependency disorder. Like, in every awkward situations, I always bring out my phone and then scroll. Like, I am really dependent on my screen. And yeah, I think that's the major problem that we need to be attend. We need to solve it and to be attentive to. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. Let's go to Dawn.
Yeah, I think one of the more problematic things facing the youth today, in my opinion, is that for some of them, they seek validation through social media. And to me, that is a red flag right there, because not everything you see on social media is real. There's a lot of fake news, a lot of fake bodies, a lot of fake places. I mean, everything at this point can be photoshopped or faked. So I think that if we always keep in mind that it's not always the reality of things, that might put us in a less problematic position.
Thank you for sharing, Dawn. Now let's go and move to Kat.
I think that one of the biggest problems that our generation faces today, or not even just our generation, but any generation very close to ours, is that we battle with imposter syndrome, which is when we continuously doubt our skills, talents, and accomplishments, and we have this persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud, which is horrible. It's a horrible product of society that we have learned from all our life experiences so far. Because we're also great. Like, all of my fellow candidates are so talented, and even the most confident person, like even me who seems confident, I battle with this difficulty so much because I just feel like someone's going to to figure out that I'm not as smart or I'm not as confident as I sound. And I think that's something that we all need to work on, but it's something that society as a whole needs to teach everyone starting from young age that we are great, we are beautiful, and we are all so talented, and every accomplishment that we have is valid.
That's nice, Kat. Thank you so much for sharing. It's not that's nice, Kat. Thank you. Let's go to Geo. Well, sorry, it's Erwin.
It's Georwin.
I call you Geo. Is that
I
okay?
call you Gio. Is that okay?
You can call me G actually. That's easier for you. That's my nickname as well. But I think personally the biggest problem the youth are facing now is actually proper education. Not education itself, but proper education. Because I think as previously mentioned by other candidates, there's so much information out there available in the internet, but being able to filter through those and be able to absorb the right information. Like for example, I live with a 10-year-old kid who actually learned swearing because he just learned from the internet basically. I think being able to actually have access to the proper and right education is one of the biggest challenges that youth are facing today.
Let's go to Alexi.
Um, I believe the biggest problem people face today is not having anyone to talk to. A lot of people fear the stigma. They fear being judged for what they think and feel, and they're just scared of what other people think. And this is something I learned during the pandemic as well. That we really need an outlet or someone to just listen to us. And I think um, people need to look past the fears, and we need to all also help here by creating an atmosphere where it's okay to not be okay. And once everyone realizes this, they'll all end up in a better mental state, and it allows them to keep going and um, to have a healthier being in general.
Thank you, Alexi. Not now, last but not the least, we have Beef.
For me, I think, in my opinion, that the biggest problem that the youth are facing, to be honest, is depression. And depression comes from lots of different factors. I mean, lots. I mean, it's not just because of validation or it's about social status or such. There's a lot of factors involved. And I mean, it's real. I mean, like people say that, it might be just a mental state or a made up thing. But to be honest, it's real and it's happening. And that's where or for me at least, that's where I'd like to focus more on what to provide a solution for, because that's something that's growing day by day, and especially during this pandemic, it's not helping that it's growing. So yeah, it's up to us for how we want to do it. I mean, like, if you want to move forward, or yeah, just stay with it. But of course, you got to move forward.
Thank you, Beef. We have tackled a lot of interesting topics like mental health, social media. I mean, there's really a lot, and I really appreciate your honest and meaningful answers. Now, let's move on to another question. And we're gonna wait until they flash it. Here we go. That was fast. So, what has been your biggest failure? All right, ready? Let's go to Miss Cat.
My biggest failure and my biggest regret in life was not saying goodbye. Um, I think that's something that we all kind of relate to in a way. There's someone out there who we regret never having said goodbye to. But in my case, when I was in the sixth grade, I actually migrated abroad from the Philippines, and I never said goodbye to any of my friends. I never said goodbye to any of my teachers, or even I didn't really say goodbye to any family. I kind of just went and left, and I think that that experience failed me as a person because I never got to close that chapter of my life, and it's something that I still hold with me. And I feel like it just should have gone so different, and I feel like my year or years after that would have turned out very, very different, and maybe I wouldn't have struggled with the depression that I did the years following if I did that. And I definitely failed myself by not saying goodbye, and I definitely failed them too, because it's like when your friend just ups and leaves and there's no information given to you, how would you feel?
Thank you, Kat. Yeah, that's really sad. There are really times that we really wish we can just go back, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and there's no like closure or something.
There's no click button for us to just rewind.
That's the sad truth. Oh well. Anyway, let's go to beef. What is your biggest failure?
I've given it some thought, and I think, to be honest, like my biggest failure was not being a good son. Like growing up, oh my god, I was a pain in the butt. Like, to be honest, I think that was one of my biggest failure, that I didn't get to make my parents proud, or like make a make them basically understand me more. But like that's where my biggest failure is also my biggest comeback, because right now I've been trying to make it up to them day by day. I'm trying to make myself the best I can, just so that I can make sure to take care of them and also to respect them. And I think that's going to be my biggest comeback.
Thank you, beef. Now let's hear from Dawn.
As far as my biggest failure, I feel that in a general sense, it has to do with the things that I chose not to do because I was scared or because I felt that I wasn't good enough. Um, with that said, I feel like there's something to be said also about those failures, because I've also learned that in life, it's really true that you end up regretting the things you choose not to do over the things that you've actually done. So moving forward, that's again coming from those failures. It's a lesson that I take with me, that if I have the opportunity and whenever the opportunity presents itself, just do it.
Thank you, Dawn. Now let's go to Alexi.
Um, okay, so from the first thing I can think of now is my biggest failure. For my biggest failure would be as of especially in high school. I kind of really focused a lot on myself, especially in third and fourth year. I was very I really placed grades and orgs and my teammates as my priority when I was in high school, and that kind of made me neglect my other friends. Of course, I'd be there with for them during class, but and then I'd still hang out with them in school. But it's different to be willing to be there for them um, outside of school. Like it takes effort to really see a friend when you have a busy schedule, and I guess that's really making me guilty, especially now since these are the people who have been supporting me throughout this journey and this pandemic. And but I believe that this failure is going to bring out a better side of me in the future. So I like to think of it as as one of the drives that will allow me to become a better friend.
Thank you so much for that, Alexi. Yeah, must have been hard, but I am glad to see that you're being positive about that. For sure, things happen for a reason. Okay, so let's go to Annie.
So I think that the biggest failure is that I always doubt myself and I don't trust in myself. So ever since the pandemic happened, it let me realize that no matter how many times you fall, what matters the most is how you were able to pick yourself up and trust in yourself, believe in yourself, and just keep moving forward. Because at the end of the day, you'll be left with only two lives of options. One is to make yourself miserable and be better towards everything that you do, or the other one is to make yourself stronger and better, and always choose the latter so that you will be able to rise again from the failure. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. Let's hear from Gio. Jerwin.
I think one of the biggest failures actually giving up because I think just one point in my life when I moved independently to Melbourne, actually I was actually homeless for a couple of weeks. I think during that time, yeah, I was like, oh, it was just the lowest point in my life, and it was really tough. And during being in that situation, it's kind of hard to get out of. So I was just like couch surfing out of my friend's house. It was a difficult time, and I had to find different. Like at one point, I said, I had to definitely, find a solution out of this. I had to like find a job, even just like, like cleaning cars, simple jobs like that, just to get out of it. Um, so but yeah, but definitely that taught me not to give up because there's always a way out in every situation. So after that, life just kind of smoothed it out. Working hard, now I have a couple of jobs, and yeah, I'm comfortable position in my life now. So yeah, that definitely taught me something.
Thank you so much for sharing, Gio. So yeah, pretty much. I'm sorry that I have to, bring out bad memories, I guess. But it's a great thing, that we have these realizations and we're being positive about it. For sure, things really happen for a reason. And when one door closes, I'm sure one opens. So there will always be, new opportunities for us to make up for it. Okay, so I guess we are on the last part already. So we're down to the final question. So, if you guys or one of you becomes or be crowned as Mr. or Miss Chinatown, Philippines 2020, okay, how do you plan on juggling the responsibilities of the crown with the demands of your current life? Okay, thanks. That's pretty heavy question. You guys ready? Let's start with Annie.
Okay, so actually, before joining Mr. and Miss Chinatown, I've already thought of the responsibilities that lies behind the crown because every one of us joined because we want to win, we want to be a Mr. and Miss Chinatown. So I think that with regards to my current life, I can say that it's not a hassle for me because everything that I am doing, I am working, I am a student, and I do sidelines. Everything that I'm doing is actually something that I really love to do, and I'm happy doing it. No one like you actually force me. No one actually forced me. So, if ever that I will be crowned as Miss Chinatown 2020, I think that with the juggling stuff, I see no problem regarding that, because when you are happy doing something, it won't be like a job for you. You won't feel tired at all. So yeah, it's really exciting, and knowing that you can be, or you will be, the face of the Chinoy community, it just excites me, and I think that is a life changing situation for me if ever. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. Yeah, definitely. If you love something that you're doing, you won't feel forced, you know. It doesn't
Yeah,
feel like you're obligated on doing something. You just enjoy it.
exactly.
Okay, so let's hear from Jerwin.
I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fly back to the Philippines because it's hard being able to represent like Mr. Miss Chinatown if you're overseas. I think that kind of realigns what my future plans are, because I think it's been a while that my parents actually want me to come home and be with them. So I think that's probably the first thing I'm gonna do. And yeah, settling back home is gonna be a really different lifestyle, and I think like yeah, it's gonna be like a different adjustment, and definitely I'm gonna make this a priority because that's one of the main reasons I'm gonna be coming back home as well. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna manage these responsibilities.
Thank you, Jerwin. Thank you so much for sharing that wonderful thought. Okay, so let's go to Alexi this time.
I think my only like the first responsibility that I would believe to potentially clash with the responsibilities of the crown would be in terms of my academics. Um, I think that um, I believe that juggling this wouldn't really be a problem though, since knowing what's at stake and knowing how much I can help by really making the most out of the experience of being Miss Chinatown would already would already give me much motivation and drive, and would already allow me to be able to balance everything. And as like what you said, when you really enjoy what you're doing and when you're into it, I don't think it should be a problem. And that if you really put your heart into what you're doing, everything will just won't there shouldn't be much challenge in juggling.
Yeah, as long as you're positive, you know, just everything will just follow. All right, so let's go to Beef.
Okay, so for me, balance is everything. You just, I mean, like for the question, like what are the demands of your current life, my current life and my future life, because like there's always gonna be demands in life, and the only way for me, in my opinion, is to really just balance, because that's how you have to figure things out, overcome the challenges, and you got to make sure that you're responsible of what you do on as Mr. Chinatown, or off as not Mr. Chinatown, or as whatever you do. So yeah, that's the challenge for everyone, I guess. Like it's really more of balance. Thank you.
Thank you, Beef. So more about balance. All right. So let's hear this time with Kat. Let's hear from Kat.
I actually don't think that the responsibilities of being a Mr. and Miss Chinatown title holder is separate from the demands of my current life. I don't think that there's actually something to really juggle, because the whoever wins Mr. and Miss Chinatown, first and foremost, the responsibility is to be a good representative of the Chinoy community and the youth of the Chinoy community, and help empower everyone within and outside of the community to become better versions of themselves. And I think that I've actually embodied that in my everyday and who I am. And I just don't think that it's something that I need to juggle. I think that Mr. Miss Chinatown gives me credibility in the voice that I give to the community, but that doesn't mean that if I do or don't win the crown, that I'm going to stop using that voice and stop being a good representation of our community.
Thank you so much for sharing, Kat. Okay, let's go to Dawn.
Yeah. To me, I think it has to begin with an acceptance that there will be responsibilities. That in life, no title that's ever given does not come with corresponding tasks. And I feel that if we go back to the reason as to why we joined and why we are here, it's easier for us to recall what the meaning behind this movement is and what it stands for. And if we can align that again with everything that we are telling the world, that matters to us, such as mental health or whatever our causes are, then to me, the candidate should not be any different from whoever the winner will be. Because that's something that we're doing now, and it shouldn't be difficult to do it in the future when we win.
That's everyone. All right, thank you, Don, and I believe that's everyone. Now, it's actually the perfect chance for you guys to promote yourself. I believe that your fans, your friends, they're all watching and supporting you. I've been seeing them on the comments. So it's the time for you to promote yourself, your social media, or whatever message you want to tell them. Let's start with Kat.
Hi, everyone. Again, thank you so much for supporting me, your candidate number 5 in Mr. Miss Chinatown. Thank you so much for streaming with us. And please watch our coronation night on October 18th on the Kapamilya channel. And starting October 12th, you can be a part of deciding the semifinalists by voting for your favorite candidate on the Chinoy TV app for Android users and the Chinoy TV website for iOS users. You can also vote by liking your favorite candidate's TikTok video on the official Mr. and Miss Chinatown account. That's at MRMS Chinatown PH on TikTok. Till then, join me in my journey by following me on Instagram and TikTok at @_Ibasco. That's at KAT_IBASCO. And of course, don't forget to use our hashtags, #Rise with MMCP and #Rise with the name of your candidate. So for me, it would be #Rise with Kat.
You hear that, guys? Rise with Kat. Thank you so much. There are a lot of exciting things we have in store. So let's go to Dawn.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for supporting Mr. and Miss Chinatown Philippines. It's been a very exciting journey for all of us, and a lot is in store. If you guys haven't seen, our Chinoy inspiration photos are out there. Please check them out. We will be releasing TikTok challenges soon, so please stay tuned for that. And if you want to learn more about me, please follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. It's at Dontang, DONTANGGG. Thank you.
All right. Rise with Dawn. Next, Alexi, your chance.
Hi. Me and my fellow candidates would appreciate if you could show your support by watching us on our coronation night, which will happen on October 18, 2020. This will be streamed live via Facebook Live, and also you can watch it via the Kapamilya channel. Again, this is your female candidate number 3, and if you want to see me more as I go through this journey, you can follow me at Instagram at Alexi Enriquez. That's Alexi Enriquez. And lastly, I just want to wish you guys a productive week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexi. So rise with Alexi. Okay, next we have Jerwin.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for supporting us. I think most of our challenges will be posted on the Facebook and Instagram page of Mr. and Miss Chinatown. So please give them a like and a follow just to check on our challenges. And yeah, together you can use the hashtag Rise with Jordan as well. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for your support as well.
All right, thank you, Jerwin. So you hear that, guys? So those who want to support Jerwin, just hashtag Rise with Jerwin. Okay, now let's go to Annie.
So thank you guys for tuning in until this time, and I would really appreciate if you guys can follow Mr. and Miss Chinatown's page both on Instagram and on Facebook so that you can keep yourself updated with the challenges that will be posting. So tomorrow we're gonna post our entry for our TikTok challenge, and it will be a virtual fashion show, so it's really exciting. So, and I also hope that you can watch us in our coronation night. And it will be live on Facebook via Kapamilya channel, and it will be also live in YouTube via Chinoy TV. So I hope you guys can support us. And if you guys want to support me, you can follow me on my social media accounts. On my Facebook, it's Annie Uson with a single N in the word Annie. And also you can follow me on my TikTok and Instagram account at Uson Aina. It's at USONEINAAA. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Rise with Annie. Last but not the least, we have Beef.
All right, guys. So thank you first of all, thank you for having us here, and thank you for watching, staying tuned with us at this timely hour. First of all, I'd like to promote my social media accounts. So for Instagram and TikTok, you guys can follow me at Beef Cuts. So that's literally just beef, as in beef pork chicken, and then CUTS, Beef Cuts, no spaces. And you guys should follow Mr. and Miss Chinatown 2020, or Mr. and Miss Chinatown on our Instagram and on Facebook, just so that you guys get updated with what we're gonna do. We got some exciting stuff ahead. Trust me, you got some exciting stuff ahead, and we can't wait for you guys to join us with it. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Beef. So I guess I already have called everyone. Did I miss anybody? All right. Thank you so much, guys, for having us, for accepting our invitation. And also, I believe we're on the end of our program. I would still like to acknowledge again or extend my gratitude to Mr. Miko Araneta. Again, he is the pageant director of Mr. and Miss Chinatown Philippines 2020. And also, again, this is your host, Mark Alvee. If you also want to follow me, I want to promote as well. I'm also a candidate, joke. So, yes, Mark Alvee. You can find me on Instagram, Mark_Alvee, or you can follow me on YouTube because I also like to vlog videos. So, that's Mark Alvee TV. And definitely Pageant Trend. Don't forget, if you wanted to be updated with all the events, all the great things about this, they mentioned about this TikTok that they have. Please don't miss it. You can follow them, and you can also you can follow our page at Pageant Trend. We also have our Pageant Trend TV at YouTube, Pageant Trend at Instagram, and also our Facebook page. And not to mention Mr. and Miss Chinatown Philippines Facebook page. All right. Well, thank you so much. And don't forget, last but not least, before forget is yeah, they kept on mentioning this finals. I'm so excited to see this. So please, um, you better watch it by October 18. It's at the Kapamilya channel online. So please don't miss it and support your candidates right here. Okay. So thank you. I guess that's it. Bye. Shasha.